Mic stay hot, no stopping, no flopping. Lawn chair sports where the chat runs wild. Pull up, tune in, it's the podcast style.
Hey guys, welcome. We're in St. Pete, downtown. We got the Christmas tree behind us. Lawn Chair Sports' first Christmas episode. We have our ongoing guest, Andrew, here. Bears savant fan. Okay, he's texting us at 8 a.m. about Caleb Williams, literally nonstop, to the point where we might need to send help to his house sometimes because we think he might be having full-on attacks in the morning.
Even after a loss.
It's out of control.
He's dedicated.
He's defending.
By the way,
Caleb
only 4 of
control.
them this year, so.
Right, yeah, and we'll get into that. But I just wanted to say Merry Christmas from the pod. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. That would be a great Christmas gift for us. Don't mind all the kids screaming behind us. It's normal. It's normal this time of year. Santa's over there doing some pictures, so this is normal. There's a band behind us, too. An absolute great high school band. But let's get right into it. Andy, what do we got out first off the slate?
Yeah, well, I think we all got an early Christmas gift last night. I mean, I'm talking Thursday Night Football, potentially the game of the year. It was the NFC West clash. The Seattle Seahawks taking down the LA Rams in overtime. A comeback thriller. They take the lead in the NFC West. What do we think about this one?
I think I shouldn't have bet the Rams. I think this was the worst beat I've ever had in my life. I'm going to jump straight into it. Forget about them being up 16 with the pick. I am going to pipe through this tuba that's going on behind us because the mic's probably not picking it up, okay? I'm going to pump through. But that two-point conversion was absolute bullshit. It was the worst call in NFL history. I want to address a couple things. Whether that pass was forward or behind, it's absolutely irrelevant. Andrew mentioned before
Play through the whistle.
That you should play through the whistle, and I couldn't vehemently disagree more. The play on the field was ruled an incomplete pass.
After the whistle was blown, which wasn't blown until he picked the ball up.
Every single person on the field knew that it was an incomplete pass, and there was not a clear and continuous pickup of the fumble. That is my big contention, and no one's talking about it on sports media.
But my question is, why was it not? Why do you think that? Was it because not a lot of people went for the ball?
No, it's because the amount of time elapsed from when the fumble started to when it was picked up. Clear and continuous is like a natural progression of the play. I think that's the spirit of the rule. If they're going to actually talk about it, I do think they leave way too much gray area with these rules, but clear and continuous means it would be a natural play. No one can argue with me that running back or receiver just walking up casually to the ball and picking up was a clear and continuous. In fact, the lack of effort that he showed picking it up just proves to me that should have just been ruled a dead ball. I'm not disagreeing that it was a fumble. I just don't think it was clear and continuous. Now, I will say, if he had put some effort and dove on the ball, fair game, 2 points. Weird play. I hate it because I lost all my money, but fair game. I just don't like the call.
He just was too nonchalant for you.
He
That's
picked
what
it up way
was.
too casually.
Yeah, he picked it up
That
too
was not a
casually.
football move.
Yeah,
It wasn't a
Not a
football
football.
move.
That's
Football
that's
move.
in the rule book.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Must be chalant
it was
when you
definitely
pick
the
up the
game of the
ball.
year. I want to point out 2 things, though. Al Michaels, you got to get your shit together. When there's a punt return of that magnitude in the game, you can't be talking about random shit. You got to be paying attention to the game. This guy's getting a little too old to be in the booth, and him and Kirk Herbstreit, turns out they're polar opposites, and they suck together. Kirk Herbstreit, at one of the biggest points of the game, Darnold's face is on the screen, and this guy goes, Sam Bradford, he's really known for not winning the big game. Sam Bradford? I haven't heard Sam Bradford in 10 years. This guy's been in the league for 10 years. Kirk, you got to pay attention. Ohio State education really showing on that one.
Another thing with Kirk Herbstreit, he needs to stop bringing his dog to work.
Oh.
I mean, a lot of people love their dogs. His dog, he's an internet favorite, but why is he the only guy in America who just gets to bring his dog to work every day? I think it's unfair. Kind of tired of hearing about it.
I am, and it's like, the dog that everyone liked died.
That's a good point.
And then he just gets a new one, and we're all supposed to like it the same.
At least he didn't clone it.
That's a good point.
We
don't know that for a
We
fact.
touched on this.
That's fair. Maybe not.
He
Jury's
might
out.
have cloned his dog as
Right.
well, which
I
would not be good.
I don't believe he's covered kind of the origins of the dog, but
I want to see that AKC registration right now.
right.
And how is this dog flying everywhere? Is Herbstreit just flying private everywhere? I mean, is that the level that these guys are making money? It seems a little ridiculous to me.
It's a bit much. I feel like Kirk Herbstreit is very much replaceable. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, but might be the least charismatic broadcaster on all the major networks right now.
I like him.
I'm staring at 4 homeless people right now, and that dog is getting treated better than those homeless people. And that's the injustice we face in today's America, because there's no way Kirk Herbstreit's dog should be flying on planes, getting good, fresh food, and that guy over there is just sleeping on a park bench. I don't like it.
It's a great point.
Well, so back to the football part.
Oh, yeah.
The punt return you're talking about, that's why you go out and get a guy like that at the trade deadline.
What's his name?
Raheed Shaheed?
Terrible name.
Rashid Shaheed.
Raheed Shaheed.
Nope.
Shaheed.
Something like that.
Got it. Nailed it.
Rahidi.
I really tried on that first one, and I got
Rashid Shaheed.
Raheed?
From the Saints.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to stop.
I mean, there were some crazy moments in this game. When the Rams were up 14, I kind of just felt bad for the
Say
Seahawks.
the Saints?
He came from the Saints. He was
Yeah.
remember the Saints? I've kind of felt bad for the Seahawks. It was like, this season's all for naught. Darnold played terrible the last time they clashed. It's like, just give the Rams the Super Bowl right now. I mean, we're going to play out the string, but they are the cream of the crop. And it flipped just like that. One thing I feel we got to ask, how do we feel about deferring in overtime? It worked out successfully for the Seahawks, but the Amazon broadcast was showing that teams that have done that were 2-5 this season, so it had typically backfired. What do we like to do with this overtime format?
2-5 is not a big enough sample size to know whether it's statistically important to take the ball or not take the ball, so I wouldn't go off of that number. I think it makes sense, though, because the situation played out perfectly for the Seahawks. They knew that a tie would do them no good, and actually the Rams would have been in first place still, and so they played their cards perfectly. Also, you got to look at context in those situations, right? So 2-5, we don't know what was going on in seeding, whether it was a divisional game, an out-of-division game. So I think that's all important, and I'm kind of sick of Amazon's metrics that they put up, and I definitely don't want to see them continuously get wrong who's blitzing every single time. I don't need to be highlighted who's potentially blitzing. I can see it with my eyes. They only do it when the guy runs up to the line. It's like, we already see them at the line. You don't need to point it out. And they blitz about half the time.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon Web Services, they're just delivering groundbreaking technology. I mean, they're kind of doing the things that the human mind and eyes aren't able to do. I mean, how would I know who's, rushing the quarterback?
The spirit of the game is definitely being lost right now. We talked about too many replays happening as well. I want to watch this game, and sometimes I just want the call to be the call. I don't want to have to continuously sit there on my couch and then not even show the proper replay, and then they just completely change the course of the game. I think it's bullshit. They're overusing it, but I will say, on a completely separate topic, Sean McVay's hair is perfect. I don't know who his barber is, but he looks like he's almost got Lego hair, where it's just like it's put on top of his head every single time. Shout out to Sean McVay's barber. That guy knows what the hell he's doing, man.
Yeah, no question about that. And on the topic of replay showing the wrong replay, this happens all the time in the NBA. It'll be like a guy gets smacked in the face, goes to the ground, and they're like, all right, here's the replay. No, it's actually a guy making a layup from about 5 minutes earlier in the game. It's like, oh, sorry, we don't have the replay you're looking for yet. So broadcast, get it together. But that was that. I mean, do you have anything else to say on the game of the year?
On the game, I mean, it was just a fun watch. And not to make everything about the Bears, but I'm going to make it about the Bears.
Right, I think most of America watched because I was thinking about the Bears.
Yeah,
the Bears needed that. We needed that. I was rooting for the Seahawks because now, if the Bears went out and Seahawks lose a game, Bears are number 1 seed in the NFC. But that's it. I just want to see a good game, and we saw a good game, and that's all I got for that.
And I get that, and I think out of respect to our viewers and listeners, we're not going to get into the Bears yet. It's too early in the
No, definitely. Let's wait.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
And I do agree that the 1 seed's important. We did have our analytics team run some numbers on it, and they confirmed that 3 games is 50% more than 2 games. So if you get the 1 seed, you only have to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. 3 games without the 1 seed. So I think it's important is undeniable.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that was that with the game of the year. But one guy who had a big game, he's had a wild week. We're talking Rams receiver Puka Nacua. I mean, this guy, he's on a run for the ages. I feel like people used to really like the guy. He was kind of a scrappy underdog. I mean, he is just doing and saying all the wrong things. He continued it last night with a tweet immediately after the game, criticizing the officiating. Sean McVay was asked about his post-game. He was pretty fiery. He didn't even know what he was talking about. It was, what's up with this guy? What's wrong with receivers?
There's nothing wrong.
Don't forget about the streaming too. Like
no, there's nothing wrong with Puka Nacua. The media has decided that this guy is going to be the enemy. They have decided that he's going to be a villain. He has done absolutely nothing wrong. He goes on a live stream with Neon and Aiden Ross, who are some of the most popular people in the world right now. God forbid a guy who's on a rookie contract making $1 million a year, $498,000 after taxes with California state taxes. He's trying to better himself and get his name out there. Aiden Ross is Jewish. When Puka Nacua, when they were kind of playing around and fucking around as to what his next celebration was going to be, Aiden Ross just did the motion and Puka did it. To give Puka enough credit to think that he even was smart enough to know that doing the thing with the hands was anti-Semitic is a little strange to me. I don't agree with it. Now, to anyone who was offended by it, I get it. That sucks. He apologized, but I don't think the intention was there. Cut the guy some slack. I don't think it was like an intentional thing against Jewish people. I think he's a nice guy. Like you say, he's scrappy, but it was an unfortunate week for the Nacua family because not only was Puka all over the news this week with his tweets about refs, his anti-Semitic hand gestures, but his brother supposedly, and the story is not fully out there, but allegedly he stole Lakers backup, whatever his name is, car, and was arrested for that. So very unfortunate for the Nacua family this week.
It's tough. It's like I'm tired of big government because it's like you can't even steal someone else's car these days without kind of law enforcement stepping in. I think he's being unfairly targeted.
You need to have permission to borrow now, which is crazy.
It is weird. But wild week for Puka Nacua. I mean, he's making plays on the field. So they asked Sean McVay, does it seem like a distraction? He said, did that look like a guy who was distracted? Didn't look like it to me.
Shout out to him. I haven't seen a receiver play with that kind of grit in a long time. This guy was catching balls, and he wasn't just going down like Jamar Chase and Jefferson. This guy was fighting for extra yards every single time he had the ball, and he was gassed in overtime and still caught that touchdown. It was like a 48-yard touchdown. Puka Nacua is the true definition of underdog and grit, and I think his story needs to be studied, and I hope he gets the bag very soon.
He's got dog in him, for sure.
He's a dog, man.
Yeah. Amen. All right, so that was that with the Thursday night matchup. Now, we're going to go back in time a little bit. We're going to jump back to some of the stories that happened last week. And yes, at this point, these are almost a week old, but you know what? This is our show, so I don't care. We're going to do how we want to do it, okay?
Well, the people have been dying to hear it.
People have been dying. It was a busy week in the NFL.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest stories of the week, the Kansas City Chiefs officially eliminated from playoff contention. They fall to 6-8, but the big story, Patrick Mahomes going down with a torn ACL. I mean, what does it mean for this iteration of the Chiefs? Are they cooked? What does it mean for Patrick Mahomes going forward?
But before we go to that point, I just want to say it's kind of a selfish move on his part. Because now people who hate the Chiefs and wanted to see them eliminated, you can't celebrate as hard. You know what I mean? Now the Chiefs fans are like, well, we could have probably won that game if Patrick Mahomes doesn't go down and Gardner Minshew doesn't throw an interception. You know what I mean? Like, it almost was like he took the fall so the Chiefs haters couldn't actually like really get their full hate out.
I think that's a fantastic point.
I think I couldn't disagree more. As a man who hates the Kansas City Chiefs, I couldn't have been happier. This was perfectly scripted. Yeah. Not only are they not making the playoffs, this guy has to rehab. He has to go through all that shit. I love it. I think this is exactly what he deserved. I think Patrick Mahomes has always been a baby, and the baby in his knee finally gave out. I can't wait to see him struggle to get back. He already was weirdly, annoyingly mobile. You take that out of his game, this guy can't throw from the pocket. He's one of the worst pocket passers. If you look statistically, according to Amazon Next Gen Stats, he's one of the worst pocket quarterbacks in the NFL, and he has no chance to ever have a return like Tom Brady did. So I don't want to see one more graphic about, Tom Brady also tore his ACL in Season 8. This guy isn't Tom Brady. Tom Brady was a once-in-a-generation quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is a flash in the pan.
And the one thing that kind of, to hit off your point, that I don't want to hear now from Chiefs fans and Mahomes lovers, they're going to say, yeah, but he never missed the playoffs when he was healthy. Basically chalking this terrible season up to injury. They were all but done when he went down.
Well, you know Tom Brady never played a snap or never took a snap eliminated from the playoffs.
And in the most annoying fashion,
and now
Mahomes fans can technically say that as well. But, I mean, The parallels to Brady are real. Both tore their ACL in Kansas City as well. Interesting fact. But now Patrick Mahomes' career is at a crossroads. Personally, I don't believe he's done winning Super Bowls. But the real question is, how is he going to respond to this? He's already accomplished a ton. In my eyes, he is no worse than the third best quarterback all time if he doesn't accomplish anything from here on out. Rings matter, kid. But is he going to be psychotically obsessed? Does he have that kind of Kobe Bryant type drive where he just won't take no for an answer, will do anything possible to just get to that next level? It's interesting, when Tom Brady tore his ACL, he credits that moment as kind of where he really took his conditioning to the next level. When he was recovering from the ACL, that's when he got in with his weird
ice cream.
That's when he got in with his weird pseudoscience trainer and really took his conditioning super seriously. Is Mahomes, is he going to kind of rest on his laurels, say, I've accomplished a ton, I'm just going to chill, put up some numbers, my Super Bowl days are over? Or is he psychotically obsessed, trying to make a run at the that quarterback Mount Rushmore?
He's not psychotically obsessed. He's not Kobe. Don't put Kobe's name in your mouth in the same sentence as Patrick Mahomes. Also, I can't just roll past the fact that you said he's a top 3 quarterback all time. That is completely false. I got 10 better than him right now. Dan Marino,
Sam Bradford,
Jim Kelly, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Montana, Joe Namath, Johnny Unitas, Brett Favre, and of course, Alex Smith.
Right.
So to say that this guy is a top 3 quarterback all time just can't be glazed over. Andy, you're drunk on eggnog, and
that is true.
Well, actually, we're not drunk on eggnog.
Yeah, we're not.
And let's touch on that. Why aren't we drunk on eggnog?
We're not drunk on eggnog. We thought there might be a 4th guest on the panel tonight. And our friend Kevin, he said, I can be on the show, but no drinking for me. No drinking for anyone, actually. He said, there can't be visible alcohol. We said, Kevin, we don't care about alcohol, dude. We want you.
We just wanted our friend on the pod, and now I have to hold this nutcracker as the 4th instead. It's a little sad.
And it's crazy. So we're 30 minutes into the pod, and still no sign of Kevin. I get the sense he's not showing up for this one, but yeah. I almost think maybe in a roundabout way he's kind of looking out for us. Maybe this is his way. He's not a very confrontational guy. Maybe he's saying, you guys drink too much. I'm going to kind of prevent you from drinking for one night.
Very fair.
Yeah. That's kind of my theory there. But
classic.
I think, Andy, I don't want to steal your thunder here.
No.
But something happened from the last podcast to this podcast as well.
It did.
And that was my Buffalo Bills beating your New England Patriots down 21-0. I thought the game was over. Superman himself, Josh Allen, MVP of the league, takes over, leads the Bills back for their 2nd straight comeback of 21 points. I am all in on the Bills. You have to come to Duff's with me and get hammered. I'm looking forward to that. I will provide the Bills jersey. Sorry for coughing on you. And, yeah, the boys are back. Vrabel is pissed about holding calls, and the Bills are on top of the AFC East. I love it.
So they're not on top of the AFC East, but
not by record.
I did lose the bet, but yeah, joke's on you because I love wings, and I would love to go to Duff's with you. So I'm not too worried about it. And it's one of those things, if you told me before the game, yeah, you're going to lose to the Bills by 4 points after winning in Buffalo early in the season, I'd say, okay, I guess that's fine. How it happened, though, that has me way more concerned. If it was a back-and-forth shootout, I'd say, you know what, it happens. Josh Allen, he's that dude. But I feel like a playoff rematch is inevitable. I don't know the seeding. I didn't look at it or do any research into it, but I just got a feeling these teams are going to clash again in the playoffs. And I'm not going to lie, I don't feel that great about it after the way things unfolded. That being said, I get pretty much every prediction wrong in this program, so maybe that's a good thing in a roundabout way.
I also got that prediction completely wrong too. I was like, Vrabel's going to turn in there, they're going to win. So
yeah. Does Drake May not have that dog in him? He can't play from behind.
Well, the problem, he doesn't have experience playing behind because he buries teams. I mean,
actually,
he makes plays
Drake
early.
May loves to play from the behind.
Okay.
He's just
you know what?
beating teams.
You know what's the good news though? Him and Caleb have a pretty good relationship, so Caleb could definitely probably teach him a few things about comeback wins, having that, the ice in his veins.
Caleb can teach him about playing from the behind.
That's something Caleb knows.
Okay.
He knows a whole lot about.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you can teach him how to put his makeup on and paint his nails too. But
Yeah.
as far as what went wrong in the game, it's honestly hard to tell because when it was happening, I was pretty drunk. But
thank you, Kevin.
And I was at a kid's party.
Trent was at a kid's
Watching
party.
it on my phone, and it was not
Trent
the best
was
internet.
also very drunk.
He was also very drunk.
Yeah.
But this did have shades of 2021 when after the Patriots won a game in Buffalo, they lost to the Bills in Foxborough, then lost again in the playoffs, and in those two games combined, the Bills punted one time. There were shades of that when Josh Allen scored on 5 straight drives. Pat's offense went stagnant. And yeah, I could do the real with it. I could blame the officiating here, but I would never do that. I think the pass interference and ruling of a catch on the ball to Khalil Shakir that was picked off by Marcus Jones, one of the worst calls I have ever seen. And to me, it's honestly just sad for a player like Josh Allen, the fact that he needs so much help from the league to get him over the hump. I look at a legend like Tom Brady. He never got help from the league. In fact, he had the league doing made-up witch hunts about deflated footballs just to get him off the field, just to try to create parity within the league. So that part disappoints me.
So many people were talking about this catch and saying it's a catch, it's an interception, it's irrelevant. It was pass interference.
It was not
and
pass
it was
interference.
clear pass interference. And you Patriots fans don't understand that you guys had the refs in your pocket for literally 15 years. And I'm so sick of you whiny babies talking about bad calls. Vrabel gets on a podcast the next day, and he's like, oh, the Bills, they had the most holding penalties coming in the game, and there was no holding penalties called. And there was. He's an absolute moron. He's spreading fake news, and we don't like Vrabel anymore. He is no longer a friend of the program for me.
Yeah, and really last point of the game, the Pats had won 10 straight going into it. If they had won this Bills game, won all the way through the Super Bowl, that would be 17 straight wins on their way to the Super Bowl. And only one team has ever done that, won 17 in a row on their way to the Super Bowl. And that was the 72 Dolphins, had a perfect season. So I think the average viewer at home would probably think, oh, losing the game, that's a bad outcome. No, I'm here to tell you, this was actually a positive outcome for the Patriots in that regard. We just had a kid run through. It was electric. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens from here on out. But I think the biggest loss of the Patriots is that now the 1 seed is very unlikely.
I'll just say this. I don't know whose kid that was, but if they had stepped on any of this equipment, I would have gone absolutely ape shit on him. Absolutely ape shit. I would have held him in a swirly until his parents came and paid me back in full for all the equipment here. So if one more kid walks through this thing, I am going to be Mr. What's his name? Scrooge Magooge or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm going to be Mr. Scrooge or whatever.
Raheed Shaheed.
Scroogey Mahoogie.
Yeah, we might need a barricade around the setup. We do public pods
That really
going forward.
threw me off.
How about an electric fence?
Ooh.
Yeah?
That would be even
For other
that'd be
people's
great.
kids.
No, it's really cool, actually. I think in today's day and age, what I've noticed is parents are paying a lot more attention to what their kids are doing. They are really on it with the whole parenting thing.
Yeah.
They're very respectful in public places nowadays. Kids nowadays are what our parents told us they were when they were kids. I mean, they are just lasered in. They're having fun. They're going outside. They're playing with their friends. They're hearing the bell to come home for dinner. And it's just good to see the next generation. I feel like there's hope.
Yeah, it's funny. Before you got here for the pod, we watched a kid pretty much almost run into a car and die chasing a soccer ball. And the dad have virtually no reaction. It was
Hey, wait, no, don't.
It was crazy.
He was on lorazepam probably.
I couldn't even believe it. But hey, everyone got out alive. So that was that. Bills, big comeback win over the Pats, and they're back in the mix in this whole AFC East thing.
Does that worry you? That the Pats might not be able to come back and win games? Does that worry you for the playoffs?
Come back and win games? I mean, they trailed kind of at the very. I mean, I'm more concerned they blew a large lead, but.
Well, like they don't have that fourth quarter drive in them.
I mean,
Are you
we'll
worried
see.
about
it's
that?
It's only loss number 3 of the year.
Well,
Okay.
I can tell you this from experience that Diggs and Mac Hollins don't have that drive in them.
Yeah, Diggs kind of a no-show. He had a
Ghost.
tough game. He was running the
Ghost.
wrong routes. It was,
Yeah.
but he was another guy after the game who said, maybe this was good for us. He said we lost good.
I
Okay.
like that take though. I like the take of we need to lose one because the 17 games in a row was not I do like that.
People don't realize sometimes losing the game is actually a good thing. People think it's all about winning in sports. No, sometimes losing is the preferred outcome.
No one knows that more than Andrew, actually.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the Bills' record?
And it's actually
Doesn't matter.
It's actually a great segue because, actually, sorry, I buried a huge story. Still on the topic of Pat's Bills. I mean, so everyone's happy in Bills land. People are loving it. And that includes Chuck Schumer. Okay, he was at the podium. He was there to address the horrific gun violence that's happening in America, and he starts it by belting out, "Go Bills."
No, that's not what happened. Let me explain what happened. He was doing an honorary thing that every Bills fan does. Just like in Canada, when you go to university, before they start the class, they say, "Before we start this class, I would like to acknowledge that this land was once owned by the Onondaga tribe." And then they say what tribe had originally owned the land. Chuck Schumer was doing that in New York, which is the only team that plays in New York is actually Buffalo. He said, before we talk about kids getting killed by gun violence, I would just like to say, go Bills. And that is a proper way to de-escalate the tension in America, is by properly saying go Bills before you talk about something absolutely horrific.
Paying respects to who owns the land.
The homage to Jimmy Kelly and Thermy Tommy.
So I do like seeing when politicians support the local teams, but it was one of those things where it's like, when it comes to gun violence, like, is this just one big joke to the Democrats? I don't know. I thought it was a wild moment.
Well, they always talk about the gun violence, but what have they done when they've been in power? Also, I'd like to point out that if Chuck Schumer didn't look so nefarious and weird, I think less people would be saying it. He looks like a cartoon villain. So I will give anyone who is critical of him that when he says something like that, it seems very nefarious.
I'm with you there. So kind of a wild moment.
Hey, as a man who, put his life on the line for this country, what are your thoughts on Chuck Schumer?
I'm going to opt out of this conversation.
Yeah, we've seen it before
where
we're kind of excitement over a big win. It comes at a poor time, given tragic real life events. I look back to kind of a mishap on the Celtics social media account about 2 years ago. They scored a big opening night win over the New York Knicks, but that same night there was a horrific shooting in Lewiston, Maine, and I feel like that should be kind of two separate social media posts. The Celtics social media intern kind of wanted to hit on both of them in one. There was a graphic of Jason Tatum showing the final score with the Celtics getting the win. Instead of Celtics win 1-0, it just said, "Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims in Lewiston, Maine." People on the internet were not happy with that. They said it was promptly taken down, but sometimes, or maybe you skip the Celtics win post that night.
Let's just do this. Let's make a very simple rule for corporations in America. Don't touch on anything in social media. Just promote your shitty product and move on. I am so sick of seeing Dove soap talking about tragedies that happened in a state that they don't even sell soap in. I don't care anymore. Companies need to keep their political opinions to themselves, because usually it's just some 18-year-old intern that's posting on their Twitter anyway, and the person who's actually in charge doesn't find out until 5 hours later.
Yeah, I don't get why people care about corporations' opinions. Like, Dove soap is not a person. So people think, I can't use that soap unless I'm aligned with them politically. The only party they support, the wanting a shitload of money party.
Do you think when I'm drunk, I go around the Chick-fil-A line and I go, "Hey, before I get my nuggets, what are your thoughts on gay marriage?" I don't give a shit.
I honestly could kind of see that, though. I'm not going to lie.
I don't give a shit what people at Chick-fil-A think about gay marriage. Give me my crispy nuggets now.
Yeah, if you don't realize that there's a horrible person behind probably every corporation or product you engage with, then I think you just live a very naive existence.
Yes.
All right. That was that. Bills scoring a
Great
big win.
Bills Patriots
was
wrap
that.
up there.
Hell of a game.
What was that?
Hell of a game. Bills back in the mix. They stay alive in the AFC East. Next
And
up,
in the playoffs.
Yo, yeah.
they were going to be in the playoffs.
Can you imagine if the Bills didn't make the playoffs when Patrick Mahomes is out, though?
That
would be
I would have to rip on you quite a bit.
tragic.
I feel like at this point, if you don't get to the Super Bowl, it's like,
Yeah.
it's a major missed
But
opportunity.
is it like, before we move on to obviously what we want to talk about, Do you feel like if the Bills win this Super Bowl, it's kind of like, but we didn't go through the Chiefs? Like, are you going to feel like part of you going to feel unsatisfied winning that Super Bowl?
Do you feel like if the Bears won the Super Bowl, you'd feel that way?
No, because we don't.
Wow, what is this, Super Bowl 47? We got the lights going out.
we don't have that person in the playoffs who has stopped us because we haven't been to the playoffs. So but for the Bills, I feel like the playoffs go through Kansas City, and you're not going to have to go through Kansas City. So do you feel like you're not going to get your redemption of beating Patrick Mahomes, getting the Super Bowl, and winning the Super Bowl? I'm not saying it doesn't, it's not a Super Bowl win, it's not celebrated, but is there a little part of you that's going to be like, but I wish we would have beaten Mahomes to get there?
Zero part of me.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a Bills fan, you're not in a position to say, well, I want a Super Bowl, it has to be XYZ way. You take the wins the way you can get them. And also, every Super Bowl winner, you got to have a great team. You got to have a little bit of luck, too.
100%.
Yeah. Rather be lucky than good, right?
That's a Chiefs problem.
Yeah. It's better to be lucky than good, 100%.
That's Chiefs problem. We're there. All right. Next up, we had an absolute classic. We had Shedeur Sanders outplaying Caleb Williams, but let down by his receivers in a loss to the Bears. Shannon Sharp claims that the Cleveland Browns are setting up Shedeur Sanders to fail by playing him. How do we feel about these comments?
Setting him up to fail by playing him. What?
It takes a big brain person to understand what he's talking about.
Right.
All right, go. Yeah,
we can break it down for you.
He's more bigger picture than what you're probably thinking about. You're probably one of those people just sitting out in lawn chairs talking about sports. That's not who we are. We're big brains. What he's trying to say is the Browns are such a dysfunctional organization. They've actually gone from withholding his chance to play to actually playing him on purpose once they knew their team was that bad. The whole plan of the NFL, it's kind of a cabal, whatever the way pronunciation is.
Yep.
They're all against Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
They are only playing him when they know he's going to fail, and that's a setup against
the Tennessee Titans.
Yes, when they pulled him off the field on that 2-point conversion.
It's
he was balling
ridiculous.
out.
But I do want to touch on. You are right.
My question is,
Caleb Williams sucks.
Shut up, dude. My question is, the whole thing with the wristband that people are talking about. Did Shedeur Sanders not realize he was wearing the wrong wristband?
That's not how wristbands work. The wristbands are made by the coaches and given to the player. So when he gets out on the field and all they do is call the number. Mm-hmm. And so, how would he have known? They're calling the plays, so he just goes by what they call. So if their 5 was different than his 5, there's no way he would know that. It would have to be the coach to recognize that really
But was he not
on.
wearing that same wristband the whole practice?
They don't necessarily script the first 10 plays always. So they could have called a different play than he was originally scripted. And plus, that is completely not on the quarterback. That's organizational failure at its most.
It's the Browns, dude. They got rid of Baker.
Should be gone
They've had 42 quarterbacks since.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's being set up to fail, and
he was set up to fail the second he got drafted by the Browns.
And even through it all, though, with so much working against him, Jerry Jeudy just dropping pass after pass. He had the throw of the day.
Don't forget about Jerry Jeudy getting the ball ripped out of his hands by the dog known as Jalen Johnson.
There you go. Jerry Jeudy, lack of ball security as well. I mean, he's just getting let down by his teammates.
What about
through
the
it
other
all, though,
two
Shedeur
picks?
Sanders, the throw of the game, that dime he threw to Isaiah Bond. I mean, this kid, he's
that was a great
things.
throw, and then what happened after that? He took a sack because he doesn't know when to throw the fucking ball.
So I mean, he was absolutely he was absolutely special in this one.
All right, so let's talk about what we really want to talk about here, and that's Caleb Williams' throw of the year, probably immediately by the best football minds in our country compared to the throw by Joe Montana. But the difference is, do you know the yardage for Joe Montana when he threw that pass against your Bills? Do you know where he threw it from?
I have that in my mind. I have the exact yardage of that pass in my mind.
Because you're a ball knower. He threw it from the 11-yard line. Do you know where Caleb threw his from? The 29-yard line. In a 0-degree weather game in Chicago with the wind swirling, throws an absolutely perfect throw, jump pass to DJ Moore for a touchdown.
So I think you brought this up.
Are we supposed to be entertained by this? I mean,
it was the best throw of the year.
The most boring content
I don't know
in the world.
the yardage on probably any pass thrown in any NFL game ever. So, but this comes up a lot. I feel like you say, yeah, but that one throw Caleb had, I mean, that might have been the best of the year. I think one thing I will agree with you, with this new one throw format the NFL has gone to, Caleb Williams has been able to shine. As we know, due to player safety, the NFL, they kind of cut the game. Previously, they played 4 quarters. Now they're just doing one throw games. So, I mean, he is just having these dynamite throws. He's the 19th best.
Caleb went off against the number 3 defense in the league, mind you, right?
Drake made a better game against the Browns.
Okay, cool.
I can't believe we're back on the same topic. Number one, I don't know why we keep bringing this guy up. No one in America even cares about Caleb Williams. He's literally a nothing burger.
Iceman.
He's one of the most annoying quarterbacks that the NFL has ever seen. There's no future for this guy to be the face of the league. He's painting his nails. His O-linemen hate him. And honestly,
his O-line hate him?
I am so sick of you texting us in the morning about Caleb Williams. Buddy, I am waking up, drinking a coffee, about to go to work, and I have to listen to your bullshit text about how some shitty quarterback played mediocre again. Andrew, I don't know how to get it through your skull. No one gives a shit about Caleb Williams. And listen, enjoy all your stupid and meaningless regular season wins. You guys are going down week 1 in the playoffs, and that's a fucking guarantee.
Are the Bills a good team?
They're a great team.
Okay, we have the same record, just so you know.
So I feel like you're
That's
under the impression
fantastic.
that the Bears are winning games because of Caleb Williams. He is the 19th best QBR in the league. You could plug in a lot of
Dude,
quarterbacks.
shut the fuck up about QBR.
You can plug in a lot of quarterbacks. And it's funny because I could
shut
say this,
up about QBR.
I could say this 1,000 times, but Ben Johnson went on record and said it. He said we're winning in spite of the quarterback, not because of it. You'll never listen to me, but you think very highly of Ben Johnson. Ryan Poles assembled a super team to make life easy for this kid.
And Caleb Williams has won us games this year.
It's a nothing
He's
burger
doing
of a
enough.
story.
All right,
This
let me
guy
ask you guys.
sucks,
Let me ask you guys something real quick. So let me set this. Let me set this up.
Set it
So
up.
you guys love sports betting, right?
No.
Yeah, you do. All right. Do you think Vegas is good at setting odds?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you think Caleb falls on the chart of MVP race right now?
32nd.
No. I'm going to go ahead and read this off to you. So right now, Matthew Stafford's the favorite, right? Makes sense. Balling out. Drake May is the second, which is awesome. Good for him, dude. He's a great quarterback. Josh Allen, third. Good quarterback. MVP last year. Makes sense. Playing well. Sam Darnold, kind of crazy, but we'll see what happens with that, right? Who do you think's at number 5 overall odds for the MVP this year?
Geno Smith.
Close.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is actually at number 6. There's one guy in between him and Sam Darnold. Who do you think that might be?
It's
Tua?
Caleb Williams. I mean, the setup was clear from the start.
Yeah, and if you're 5th in the MVP race, I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in the league. Is the number 5 in the MVP race out of everybody in the league right now a bad player?
Your arguments are so bad, man. Like you just have the worst arguments. You telling us that he's barely in the top 5 of MVP
He's in the
odds
top 5.
is actually insane.
Top 5.
That means there's 4 players that are just clear-cut favorites and better than him.
Okay, and I'm not saying he's the best quarterback, but you sit here and tell me that he sucks.
MVP
and
is
that
a
is the
stupid award.
wor-
and
Whenever
that's
this MVP is a stupid award
It's a
because
stupid award.
it's a participation trophy.
Trent
It's a participation
literally,
trophy.
last year when Josh Allen won MVP, we were leaving one of our softball games. I went to Trent. I said, dude, congrats on Josh Allen winning MVP. Trent literally took off all of his clothes and jumped into the water right by our softball field out of celebration.
I did, and I can't swim, so thank you for coming to save me.
You're welcome.
That was very nice of
Yeah,
you.
never
7
really
years
go
of
down like
training for that.
But
It's a nothing burger. I have a better story to talk about,
Let's
and
do
one
that.
that the fans actually care about, and that is Trump announcing the Patriot games. If you guys don't know what it is, Trump is celebrating 250 years of America, and he is having the youth come out to compete state by state for the Patriot games. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is a political move. This is a political move. No, this is patriotism. We want this. We want 8-year-olds like China battling it out in judo, fencing, track and field, high jump, long jump, gymnastics. I am here for it all. I think the Patriot games could be electric. What I'm curious to see is who's going to get the streaming rights for the Patriot
All
games.
right, hold that thought because I still have more to talk about with the Bears.
I think, I
So-
can see Netflix, Amazon, I feel like we'll be all over this. Apple TV might even throw their hat in the ring. I mean,
Dude, that's pretty crazy.
we're talking Patriot games, kid.
Yeah.
We are so done with the Caleb Williams thing.
No. Let's talk about Bears, not Caleb Williams.
No,
Oh,
we're done.
so-
We're done. We're not talking about the Bears.
The Bears have a clear path to the number 1 seed right now. And coming off of 5 wins last year is fucking
Andrew,
insane,
this is what
dude.
you do to us in the morning with a text.
It's tough.
No one cares about the Bears, man. Like, they're just a nothing burger team. They're not even in the best in the NFC. No one gives a shit. The Rams are better. The Lions are better. The Seahawks are better. It's a nothing burger story. The podcast is done. You had your 20
The
minutes
Lions
to talk
are better.
about.
You really?
In a one-game scenario,
Yes,
I'd rather play
I
the
do
Bears
think
than
the
the
Lions are
Lions.
better. Yes.
Jared Goff can't play in the cold. He proved that against the Bears when he was on the Rams. He's proved that this year. They're in Chicago in 2 weeks. Do you know how cold it's going to be?
Okay.
Jared Goff is going to be able to throw the ball.
Get whatever you need to get out about the Bears, and we're moving on.
All right. Huge game on Saturday, tomorrow, right? Obviously, I'm going to be sitting at home watching it. Bears beat the Packers, and the Lions lose this week against the Steelers, which is very possible because Aaron Rodgers kind of owns the Lions. Bears clinch a playoff spot. They win out, which is going to be tough, and the Seahawks lose one more game. The Bears are the number 1 seed in the NFC North, led by number 5 in MVP odds right now, Caleb Williams, and a great coach.
So,
And it's only going to get better from here.
So when this podcast is released, it will be Saturday. So in all likelihood, the game has already taken place. The Packers have won. They've swept the Bears this season.
Yeah.
And
yeah, absolutely.
but one Bears story that is worth hitting on.
Kevin Warren, is that what you're about to talk about?
I don't know who it is,
Okay.
but they might be moving to Northwest
Okay, yeah,
Indiana.
because you don't know what you're talking about. So Kevin Warren is a complete fucking moron. He is a literal
We've lost
figurehead.
control of the pot.
He's a literal figurehead politician who is in charge of moving the Bears, and he's trying to leverage the city right now by threatening to move the Bears to Chicago in the middle, the day before the biggest
how can
game.
they move the Bears to Chicago?
I
I don't want to see them there.
Oh, my bad. The biggest game of the year, the biggest game since the double doink for Chicago, and Kevin Warren releases an open letter to the city of Chicago saying we're going to move the team to Gary, Indiana.
I think it could be exciting. Personally, if the move goes through, would you like to see the Lawn Chair Boys do a live show outside the new stadium in Gary, Indiana?
I'd rather watch paint dry.
Which is how I feel like a lot of our guests are feeling right now, talking about the Bears. This team is a nothing burger of the story of a story.
Wrong.
You have absolutely ruined my take on the Patriot games, and we're gonna now have to move on to a different story.
It's tough.
Great.
It's tough.
What did you Google to figure out how to distract me? Where you're like, #1 stories right now, and you used AI.
All right, more
that's what
NFL
it is. I
action
got it.
this weekend. Phillip Rivers played well in his return from the couch. Are you in or out on Old Man Rivers?
You could be on a couch, you could be watching TV, and then you know what? Sometimes your boys need you. He got off the couch, he picked himself up, and this guy was throwing lasers out there. And by lasers, I mean he was kind of shot-putting floaty passes, but he played well. His footwork looked a little bit better than I expected. He did have one sack where he kind of completely just kind of fell in the pocket, which wasn't great. But considering the situation, I think he did pretty damn well.
I'd agree.
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
love
he
to
played
see it.
pretty
I
well.
think, live arm. I mean, guy looked mobile. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe rush for a couple touchdowns in this next game. I'm really excited to see Phillip Rivers. I think it's the story of this NFL season that everyone can get behind. I mean, imagine Old Man Rivers and the Colts going on a little playoff run. I mean, how cool would that be?
It would be pretty sick. I saw that Andrew Luck actually got asked why, like, if he would have gone back, and he said, I wouldn't know because no one asked me.
That is crazy. Although you do have to imagine the Colts probably multiple times per year for the past 5 years have been asking, hey,
Please come back.
yeah, any interest in coming back? Because we're going to have to sign Carson Wentz. So if you just wanted to come back, that'd be great.
Keep going.
And-
Good night.
Yeah, I think he's made his decision pretty clear. But Old Man Rivers, that's exciting. Other quarterback news in the league, Tua has finally been benched by the Dolphins. He was seen.
Before you get to that, you know that Phillip Rivers only got the starting job because he still talks to Shane Steichen about their offensive plan because he runs the same thing
He does.
for the kids that he coaches.
And what does that say about the Colts offense if they're running it at high schools in, I don't know, somewhere in the South?
At least it's not the Eagles' offense.
Honestly, it's a cool story. I think Phillip Rivers is a cool guy. I actually like him. I think he was always a fan favorite. No one ever hated Phillip Rivers.
Jay Cutler hated Phillip Rivers.
feel like a lot of players hated him because he was such a shit talker, but as the years go on, you kind of respect
a
the
shit
guy.
talker without swearing is the best part about
It's
it.
great.
Yeah, he's actually pretty
great,
electric
very
at the
respectful guy.
non-swearing stuff.
I mean, imagine shit talking someone and just never swearing one time.
He's a nice Southern gentleman. And
Yeah.
speaking of a nice gentleman, I don't believe he's Southern. I think he's from New Jersey or something. I don't know. We're talking about Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza.
Kirk Cousins 2.0.
He wins the Heisman Trophy. He does give Kirk Cousins vibes. I like this kid. I think he's all class. He's going to be a high pick. Then, on the other perspective, we got Diego Pavia just handling the defeat with pure class. He said, you know what? I would have loved to win it, but I defer to Fernando. He was the deserving winner.
Yeah.
What do we think of this Heisman Trophy drama?
I think Diego Pavia has a real problem on his hands. He
You mean cocaine?
is a flash-in-the-pan quarterback. He's not even as good as Johnny Manziel, and we saw how good that worked out in the NFL. This guy, unfortunately, his height gets exposed standing next to the 6'2" Love from Notre Dame. Pavia looks like he maybe is 5'9", and to be honest, it's not a good look for what his whole persona. I get what he's doing. He's probably making some good NIL money, but that's where it stops from there because the NFL has completely shut off any chance of this guy even getting a chance to play in the NFL. I think Pavia was so dumb going to that club. For 2 hours, you're pissed off. Keep it to yourself. Go to the club. You don't need the sign to say how the Heisman voters suck, and you definitely don't need to tweet that picture out.
Also, like, saying fuck Indiana, dude, just say what you really mean. He meant fuck Mendoza, right? Like, that's what the sign should have said. Like, it says fuck Indiana, but, like,
No, I agree.
say it with your chest at least if you're going to say it.
I
Because
agree with
Indiana's
that.
a whole state. So, I mean, are you talking about those, you know,
dude, like,
those nice
the
corn
Hoosiers,
farmers?
dude. Like, what the hell? The future home of the Chicago Bears. You can't do that.
No,
That's-
in all
that's a good
honesty,
point.
he's got no shot in the NFL now. There's no NFL team that wants to touch this guy.
No, the kid's a scumbag, and he looks like that guy Steve Will Do It, like the internet prankster. I kind of thought they were the same person for a while. So
I mean, he is going to be in Tampa in a couple weeks.
that's something
Who
that
is?
affects us a lot.
Diego Pavia,
Oh,
the
they're
Royal
playing?
Quest Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to
So,
get him on the pod?
Yeah, don't be surprised to see him on
That'd
the
be
pod in
pretty
the
cool.
coming
I mean,
weeks.
dude,
And,
yeah.
you know, maybe he can say his side of the story.
No alcohol, though. No alcohol.
No
for that
alcohol
pod.
because he
Yeah.
is a recovering addict.
Yeah.
But we wish Fernando Mendoza the best. I don't know who's going to land him. Hopefully, for his own sake, he doesn't become a New York Jet. But I think this kid's got a bright future because he's all smiles, he's all class. I like this kid. I mean, he dropped 13 in Ohio State. I mean, this kid, he's an absolute monster.
Do you think that maybe if the Browns get him, like, they can't fuck him up anymore? So it might be like,
Well, the Browns already have a franchise
oh yeah,
quarterback.
they had
so-
Johnny Manziel, and
Right, the Browns have a franchise
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah,
I think
Okay.
Pavia is done. I think his career is over. He sparked. He had a good year. That's great. I want to bring up something. So
Yep.
this show has a remarkable amount of international listeners.
It's true.
And there's two stories I want to touch on that go directly to the hearts of the international crowd. The first one is the World Cup is coming to the United States. It's coming to the Western Hemisphere. And the fans are pissed about ticket pricing. Right now, the average ticket price for the finals are $5,000, and resale markets have them marked up even higher. The average fan cannot afford to go to a World Cup match anymore, and they're losing touch, FIFA is, with the everyday fan. Right now, they have allotted, due to the massive fan outrage, FIFA has introduced a $60 ticket tier, but that's only for 0.16% of all total seats. This is out of control. I feel like FIFA is too focused on corporate right now and not focused on the people. When sports organizations get like this, you really lose the love of the game. What are our thoughts on international folks not being able to enjoy the World Cup?
before we go into this, soccer talk sounds like, what'd you say?
Are you pod squatting?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Do you guys know if there's like a public restroom any around here?
I don't know what she's saying, but I like it. You know what? She seems upbeat,
But like,
enthusiastic.
that's a serious question.
Do you need to use the restroom?
There's no public restroom.
There's no public
There's
restroom.
no public
anywhere.
restroom. There's a tree right there, and you could try taking a leak there. There are a lot of children around, but hey,
So I'm gonna opt
Christmas.
out of that. I guess I'll just hold it. But we're
I thought you were gonna bring up Caleb Williams. I was like, oh my god.
So just for the flow of the podcast, usually when we bring up a topic, we don't immediately then cut off the topic and then just completely go to something else.
But it's soccer.
It's
right.
It's
so if there's one to cut off, it's probably that one.
Let's not do it.
So let me get my take here. So I think this is a heartbreak for the international fans, and it's a problem with sports as a whole. It's getting so expensive to buy tickets to go to these games. And on one hand, I'm all on capitalism. I mean, why are these tickets so expensive? Because we, the people throughout the world, are so sports obsessed that the demand to go to these games is just through the roof. But I feel like on the flip side, a consequence that people aren't even thinking of, some of these crowds are now becoming just lame, wealthy corporate people.
Yeah.
Like, you'll look at a crowd and there's no energy. That's because the common folk who are thrilled to be at the game, see their favorite athletes, they're priced out. It's a bunch of CEOs who have been there, done that. They're crafting up emails on their smartphone the whole time, trying to close deals. And we're kind of missing out on that old school crowd who's just there for the love of the game.
Well, that's because live events have become the new thing. Right now, everybody lives their life through technology. There's not much connection going on in the world. Private equity is noticing they are buying up live event venues. They're buying up live event companies like we've never seen before. Sports is the last thing that keeps network television alive. A lot of these entire broadcast channels rely entirely on live sports. Otherwise, no one would ever pay for Fox Sports or any of these shit. So honestly, it is a problem because the more and more people want to go to live sports, the more and more these prices are going to go up. And the more and more the rich people, it's just going to be the posh thing to do, which is to get the corporate ticket.
I actually have a pretty good outlook on this because so last year, my brother, in a very, very generous act, bought us both tickets to the Winter Classic in Chicago against the St. Louis Blues at Wrigley Field. Insane event, right? Ticket prices astronomical. We're at the game. Mind you, the Blackhawks are getting smoked by the Blues, which sucks. So not only are we in a bad mood because of that, but it's freezing outside because Wrigley's not built for the cold, right? The whole time during this game, because it's on New Year's Eve, they have this group of people down in the outfield where, like, obviously off to the side of where the ice is, celebrating a New Year's party. And they keep flashing to these people and showing them, saying like, oh, the New Year's party is going on. And you know that's what they're showing on like the national broadcast. And not one person is drinking. Not one person is wearing a single hockey anything. And during a crucial time in the game, there should be showing a replay on the scoreboard of what happened, reviewing a goal. And they're showing these fucking people in the this group being like, oh my God, the New Year's party is going on and we love it so much and we're having so much fun here at the Winter Classic.
It's getting out of control.
Ridiculous, dude.
It's
like
disgusting. That's no party to me.
You know, all those people are influencers who got paid to go there while I'm freezing my ass off in the stands watching this hockey game that my brother paid an arm and a leg for 2 tickets for us. And this is the bullshit that they're focusing on.
Yeah, you know, when you were talking, I did forget that yesterday I did go to a Lightning game in a corporate suite.
How was that?
Okay. So it was great. We just sat there, didn't watch much of the game. We were actually watching the football game on the TV.
Okay.
And it was all you can drink and eat.
I was going to say, yeah, probably good food in there, right?
I get why corporate wants to do it because it is very nice to sit in the nice seats.
Okay, cool.
This leads me into my next story, though.
Yep.
And it's connected. The BBC, which is the British Broadcasting Corporation.
Yep.
Okay.
The largest corporation broadcasting network in the UK.
They're very big.
They just lost
Huge, dude.
broadcast rights to the Commonwealth Games. The Commonwealth Games are obviously the UK's basically internal Olympics. And
It's their Patriot games?
It is.
Okay.
And they have had this for the last 70 years. The BBC has broadcasted this. This is the first year that the British government has given the subscription rights to TNT Sports. They have secured exclusive rights, which means that fans must pay to watch the events that were traditionally free on public TV. People in the UK are pissed. Everything that we know of just good, hearty fun is being put behind a paywall. And I'm not here for it, man. I think the UK government should be ashamed.
Yeah, I'm mind blown. I had no idea that they had TNT in the United Kingdom. I figured that was an exclusively American company. It's crazy. Inside the NBA, out. What was it called? BBC Games in. I mean,
The Commonwealth Games.
the Commonwealth Games in. They got to fill out their.
It would be electric if Chuck and Shaq just went over to announce it, though. I would pay for that.
That would be great. I think those people,
Talk
those
about
good people in the
BBC.
United Kingdom, they would love Charles Barkley.
That was a good joke.
That was
There
cool.
you go.
I think they would love the Inside the NBA crew and kind of cheer them up after, they've kind of they've had a rough go of it, left the European Union. It's, you know what? At least we can cheer you up with Shaq and Chuck making wisecracks on the set.
I like because I'm just a guest on this podcast. From the Lawn Chair Sports guys, will you guys ever go behind a paywall?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
right, cool,
Oh, there
good.
is a low amount of money to get us behind a paywall.
If
Okay,
we think
cool.
we can
Yeah.
make one additional $1, we will be
Have you
behind
guys
the paywall
considered
tomorrow.
OnlyFans for your podcast?
We
We've
have.
considered
Okay.
only pods. We've considered only mics. We've considered only feet, where we just do podcasts with no shoes on. But we have never considered OnlyFans.
Okay.
Anything to make any amount of money, we are pretty much all in for.
Nice.
Yep. All right.
$1 is $1, you know?
Andy, I think this is an unfair question, and I think you put him on the spot. I think Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco are two of the dumbest podcasters that the U.S. has ever seen. The fact that these guys have microphones in front of their face just proves that anybody can buy a nice microphone and a nice camera and just think that they can spew whatever they want. It's bullshit.
And there's clearly no preparation or thought that goes into the takes. It's like these guys
Yeah.
just show up, turn the camera on, and they start talking. It's like they think what they're saying is important just because there's a microphone and a camera.
Do you think they
I'm
know?
sick of these two.
Do you think they know where the podcast is going to be before the podcast actually happens too?
No.
Who knows?
Okay.
I think they're just flying by the seat of the pants, and it's like they're complete sellouts too. It's like all they care about is just making that extra $1.
And clearly, when they're discussing or figuring out what they're going to talk about, they just go after clickbaity shit and they talk about none of the actual
Yeah.
stuff that people want to hear about.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't watch any of the games. They don't watch any of the film. Honestly, it's low grade media. So
And like speaking about stuff that like people actually care about,
yep.
I do want to bring up Megan Rapinoe criticizing the U.S. men's national team for their 2026 slogan, which is "Never chase reality." She said, "Quote: I didn't like that. To me, it said you already think you're not good." Megan Rapinoe, no one gives a shit about anything you've ever said or anything you're about to say. Shut up. You were never even good as a female soccer player, and now you're one of the most annoying women, not only in all of sports, but in all of the world. Go home.
Yeah, I thought it was great to hear from her. I think it's one of those things where whenever there's kind of a new world event, it could be political happening, something in sports, I want to hear what Meg Rapinoe has to say. It's like, I think she's absolutely electric. I think her takes are very well thought out. I get where she's coming from. I mean, if this is a crazy slogan. I mean, maybe Megan should be in charge of Team USA branding going forward. I'm honestly stunned that this wasn't about the pay gap. But
Speaking of Team USA, I know baseball's far from happening, but I just want to touch real quick because I saw an edit today that got me real excited about the World Baseball Classic.
Trent, were you aware that that's something that exists?
Absolutely.
Okay.
World They used to
Baseball
play in
Classic?
Toronto.
Dude, the American team, the USA team, is going to be nasty with their pitching. Both Cy Young winners and Mason Miller out of the bullpen and Joe Ryan, and then a stacked lineup with Aaron Judge as a captain.
So we're going to give you a little insider secret here. When the NFL and NBA are both still in season, we don't talk MLB.
All right.
That being said,
You guys might not.
When we're in the, if there's a big baseball signing, that's what we're talking about. But that doesn't happen anymore because the hot stuff's completely broken. And if anyone good signs, it'll probably be a week before the season starts.
Yeah, but
because
nothing
free agency is weird.
Nothing gets you going like watching the USA play in a competition like the I can't think of what it's called,
tough.
but
I don't
last
think
year,
anyone really cared.
the hockey
The Four Nations.
Yes. Dude, no one
was
cared about it was the first time that happened And it was.
But international hockey it's always been an important thing. Like international baseball.
Are you saying that the hockey no one cared about?
No, everyone, dude, the Four Nations was huge.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Look,
great.
I thought the last World Baseball Classic, it had some great moments. It was pretty awesome to watch, but international baseball does not have that same juice. But look, we will talk about it in the NFL offseason. We're not going to have a lot to talk about come February, March, so that's going to be big for us.
You guys have way too much film to watch.
You better believe,
really,
we will be betting on all of these games.
Okay.
But I'm still fading Team USA. They are notorious underachievers in this World Baseball Classic tournament.
Fair.
So, which we'll be talking about in 3 months.
All right.
Andy, anything else you wanted to touch on?
Kind of just some random things I want to get off my chest. One thing I'm totally sick of, it's when you go to a restaurant and the waitress does the thing where she doesn't write any of the orders down. It's like, no, I don't need to write it down. I just remember it all in my head. But then she just gets everything wrong. It's like, if you're not going to write it down, I mean, pen, paper, you could even write it on your smart device. All of these avenues exist. If you were going to insist on not writing down because you remember everything, you cannot be getting 50% of the order wrong. I mean, last weekend, out with some buddies, just having a good old time, having some beer and wings. This lady, she will not write a thing down. I mean, the wing sauce is wrong, bringing people the wrong food. She forgot about the sandwich. She comes and brings the tabs. I mean, my beers are on my friend's tab. I kind of didn't hate that, but didn't get a thing right. It's like, no one asked you to try to remember the orders. You clearly cannot, so I wouldn't think less if you wrote it down. I would recommend writing it down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of a good sports comparison. It would be like if you go up to play against a basketball player, right? And they're like, nah, I'm so good I can beat you left-handed. And then you play them one-on-one in school. It's like, if you can't remember the order, write it down. You're not at that level. It is a skill, and it's just too important of a thing to mess up. Honestly.
Well, I was going to say, you're a former quarterback. It's like if the receiver goes for the ball with one hand and drops it. I mean, the first time you go for that ball with one hand and drop it, bench. You got to make the play.
I completely agree. I think it should be a rule for most restaurants that they have to write it down, even if they think they can remember.
Even if she was just scribbling nonsense, that would have made me feel better.
The act of writing shows respect.
Yeah, but is there anything cooler than if she doesn't write it down and then they get it completely right, and then you're like, damn, this person's...
Yeah, but you're looking at 1% of the server population.
Yeah, but when they get that, that's like, dude, that's pretty cool.
And you do appreciate it, and you tip well.
Yeah, you're like, damn, that was pretty cool.
And sort of a similar thing is when you get in a cab and they don't like using navigation.
Oh, yes, cabs. I use them all the time.
What, you never taken a cab in Chicago?
I have, but recently.
And their whole thing is they don't use navigation. They say, no, I know every address in town.
Oh, then they're trying to run the meter up, dude.
And they have no idea where you're going.
They're trying to run the meter up.
And then they're asking you for directions. It's like, dude, just put it in the navigation. I won't think less of you if you use it.
Okay, but on a flip note, how about some of these Uber drivers that follow Uber maps way too closely? It's like the Michael Scott when he
drives into the water.
When the TomTom was telling him to turn right and there was a body of water and Dwight Schrute was like, don't turn right there. He's like, well, the thing's telling me. And he went right. So it kind of goes both ways. You definitely want your Uber/taxi driver to just have a sense about where he's at, but also maybe follow Google Maps, which knows where everyone else is at as well.
Yeah.
Trent, do you remember when we got in that Uber that one time and the guy turned down a one-way? And then you're just like, all right, pull over, let's get out.
I do.
And then we just footed it all the way.
Yeah, it was a very scary Uber to start with, and he started off by immediately his first left turn was onto a one-way. And I said, sir, pull over. We're getting out of here right now. And he's like, no, I'm fine. I'm like, buddy, get the fuck out. Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, another wild Uber moment from over the weekend. Yeah, was at one bar watching the games, went to another, took an Uber. A red pickup truck just wildly cuts in front of our Uber driver. There was a near collision. It was crazy. I said that was really stupid because we both made a right turn and then ended up basically at the exact same place. So I feel like he didn't need to risk killing us as well as himself. Our Uber driver pulls up right next to this red pickup truck driver and rolls down the window. Now, one of our buddies was in the passenger seat. He ducked back in the seat because he thought he was going to get shot. He did not get shot. The guy who almost hit us says, hey, sorry, was that close? Did I almost hit you guys? He said, yeah, you pretty much almost killed officers. He said, oh, well, I'm sorry. About 2 years ago, I lost most of my vision. And also, I've had about 2 bottles of gin. Okay? He said, so I didn't hit you. Merry Christmas.
Okay.
And then rolled up the window. It was like weirdly not that confrontational. It was kind of friendly. When he said he lost most of his vision, I was thinking, I feel bad for you. You probably shouldn't be driving. When he said the 2 bottles of gin, I thought, you definitely shouldn't be driving. But it was like a Florida driver story you can't even make up. It sounds made up saying it now. It was real.
That's honestly...
Most stories involving Ubers, if you live outside the state of Florida, you do not believe.
It was crazy. Also, our driver, kind of a death wish. Nothing happened, but just to pull up right next to the guy and roll the window down and just look. I mean, you're pretty much asked to get shot. Anyone who will wildly cut in front of you like that while driving a red pickup truck
Has a gun.
typically has a gun. So you got to have a little more field awareness, but we got out alive this time.
Speaking of truck drivers who are bad at driving their trucks, kind of similar to the waitress thing. If you're going to drive a big-ass truck, you better be good at driving the big-ass truck. If you're parking your truck and you take up 2 spots because you can't park your big-ass truck, get a smaller car and figure it out.
And unfortunately, I
agree.
feel like there's a reverse correlation between size of car and ability to drive it correctly, or more so willingness to drive it correctly.
I think it's the willingness in
Yeah,
Florida. more than anything.
Fair.
Let me see what else I want to talk about.
Got any Christmas topics or?
No, we're gonna.
All right, no.
Well, let's do a
Not
little
to
Christmas
offend me.
topic.
You don't want to offend me. Is
Yeah,
that
we don't
what
want
it
to
is?
offend you.
Let's do a
We wanna be
Christmas topic.
inclusive.
Let's
Yeah, that's
do
fair. Holiday
in
topics.
2026. What do you want to see underneath the Christmas tree?
All right, I can start us off.
Yeah, let's hear it.
2026, what I want under the tree, I want more athletes and owners complaining they don't have enough money. I think it's very interesting. I think it resonates with the common fan. You know, a lot of people say you can't relate to these owners, you can't relate to the athletes. It's just they're living life on a different plane. I personally relate to them because I also would like more money. So I like hearing when kind of these baseball owners come out and say, listen, we're not making a profit. This is actually not a good business to be in. I'm pretty much poor. I'm eating ramen every meal. You have Odell Beckham telling me that you can barely live off $100 million in the NFL. So I'd like to hear more stories of this in the new year. I think it's a kind of a cool side of sports we're hearing more of with more media access.
In 2026, lawn chair sports will be picked up by a larger network, and that's a guarantee. Lawn chair sports is going to the moon. If you could have bought Amazon when they were only selling books, that's about the stage we're at right now, because we're about to absolutely dominate the sports media landscape. That's what I want for 2026.
Okay. I mean, aside from the obvious Bears, success in 2026.
Yeah, we gotta be realistic.
Well, dude, honestly, like 2 things actually. Number 1, I would really like more streaming platforms. I don't have enough subscriptions.
Yep.
I'd really like a couple more, just to get those apps on the
Good call.
phone. Make sure everything's separated. I like to keep one show on each app.
Agreed.
So I can forget my logins for all of them. And I also, as a single man, I just really, really want online dating to just be way better. I just want it to be, I want more people to use online dating and not talk in person, because talking in person is very overrated. I'd rather just completely interact over the internet.
See, the last take was half sarcastic, so I'm not sure if you actually want online dating to be better or you want it to be worse.
I mean, better as in, like, I want more people to use it and stop talking in person, because it's getting kind of old going to a bar and just women just not, like, just approaching us just 24/7. I'm getting kind of sick of it.
I still can't tell if you want to actually have online dating be better or you don't.
No, I just said I do. I want it to be better.
I mean, I like an old take that Trent had very early on. He said that Facebook Marketplace might just be the best dating app out there.
Well, yeah,
Not
since they
in-
got rid of Craigslist.
and not in the way,
No,
not in the way
Craigslist
you're
was
thinking.
not a good. They did not. That Craigslist did not attract any good-looking girls. Here's the move. You want me to tell you?
All right, let's hear it.
All right.
From the married man, let me hear it.
No, this is just a theory I have. Okay, you buy something that's very trendy, like a house decor item, that the only person who's going to want this item is probably going to be a female.
That
But
does not sound predatory at all.
Exactly. That's why it's okay.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not predatory because it's this. How is that more predatory than literally swiping left or right on someone?
But I want you to continue saying what you were saying.
Well, I was in the middle of it. But anyway, so then you get about 15 people to respond to this, right? And then you meet them in person. You have a good chat. And you make a little bit of money with flipping pillows and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Merry Christmas, guys.
Hey, do you want to meet in a parking lot so you can buy these pillows from me? Also, are you single?
There you go.
Cool.
Andy likes it. Andrew hates it. I think it's a good move. But then again, I've been out of the game for a long time. But, boys, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'm going up to Montreal tomorrow. You staying in town, Andrew?
I am. I will be here.
Nice. Hit up some Christmas bars in St.
There you go.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Worst places to be.
I mean, I agree.
Oh,
yeah. No, I think it'll be fun.
Andy, what are you doing for Christmas?
I'll be going up north for about a week or so.
Hell yeah.
I already made my trip home between the holidays for my niece's first birthday.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for doing it.
Yeah. That was
Let's go get
great.
some
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Shout out Kevin.
Merry Christmas. That was a good one.
Mic stay hot, no stopping, no flopping. Lawn chair sports where the chat runs wild. Pull up, tune in, it's the podcast style.